It's Monday, June 19, coming up live on The View. Henry Winkler's telling the ladies why he and Adam Sandler click. Plus, can these two women lose 8 pounds in 9 days eating stuff like pizza, fries, and steak? A diet guru says they can, and he's going to prove it by starting them on the fast track to weight loss today. And it's nasty, it's filthy, it's a sitcom? Funny man Louis C.K.'s telling the ladies about his controversial new show. Then R&B stars Jagged Edge are singing their latest hit. All that and the hot topics you want to hear coming up live on The View.
Soft porn and men and women together.
Yes.
So I saw a couple of shows over the weekend, a tape and the actual show. You did too, which is going to feature a guest who's on later on the program. And I have a big problem with it and him. And they were doing it, he and the
You're never going to get out of this, just
right back with more hot topics, I'll tell you about it.
Come back later.
With one of our guests today, and I try to be polite to whomever is on the show. This is a man named Louis C.K., and he stars in a new HBO sitcom called Lucky Louie. Okay, over the weekend, I watched 2 of his shows. You watched it, and you watched parts of it. I have a sense of humor. I'm probably going to make this show much more popular by saying this. I found them unbelievably vulgar.
They're pretty raunchy.
And racist. I'm used to the F word. That doesn't bother me. I think I have a sense of humor. But, I mean, it's got him for endlessly having intercourse with his wife while she's so bored. It shows the neighbors moaning. There's a vibrator that's shaking.
Yes.
There's also racist things.
It goes there.
And I just thought, I'm sure he's a lovely man. In a few minutes, I have to face him. But
no, but it makes you wonder. And, you know, the thing is...
Is there no boundary?
I guess not on HBO. I always joke about it, calling it hilarious but offensive, because that's what I think it is. And it is, you know, this is a funny guy, but there are some things that I just don't have I don't have the tolerance for.
But don't you think you will really be able to distinguish your own taste? Because I found it sophomoric and silly, you know, with raunch added in.
Did
so
you
that
see
wouldn't
the
be
part that I thought was racist?
Do you know
think it was racist?
Well, you know, I don't like to use that term unless it's somebody doing something to somebody, because then when you throw that term around, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
That's right.
However, the racial humor I don't find funny.
I didn't find it
funny.
funny.
So I see what you're talking about on that.
Yeah.
I didn't find it funny, but... You know, but my taste is, I love Boondocks. A lot of people think that that's intensely racist, and they don't find it funny.
The reviews, by the way, are subversively hilarious.
Well, the
Chicago
reviews
Trib.
are, it's an HBO ad, so we don't know what they
deserves
say.
an Emmy.
It is an HBO ad.
Listen, you as a comedian...
I always defend
you
comedians.
You have to defend
Yes.
every comedian. Is there any time you don't defend them?
Rarely. I mean, the miracle is a comedian got a show on television, okay? And I'm happy for Louis C.K., who's a very, very funny guy.
Who did he used to
and if
write
you
for?
find it offensive, watch the Food Channel. You want to see pornography. I mean, don't watch HBO if you find it offensive.
That's the best part
That's
about
the thing, you have the choice.
Click.
Okay, so anything...
Speaking of Click, we have the star of Click on the show today. Just wanted to do that.
Oh, that was a nice segue.
That's right.
Nice. I love the way you're
Tricky around here.
Just in case you haven't seen Lucky Louie's show, I have now made it much more popular, and I regret that. But, Louie, you and I will be facing off in a few minutes.
That's good.
And...
What else?
And that's all I have to say.
Okay. For right now.
As you heard earlier, the new sitcom Lucky Louie is definitely a hot topic, causing a firestorm of controversy that has some critics calling the show sexist and racist. And it's definitely a show that's not above going below the belt. Take a look.
Kim, we can't afford another baby.
But we always said we'd have 2 kids. We agreed when we had Lucy that we wouldn't make her be alone.
Yeah, but not now. Do you know how much we have in checking right now? Negative $50. We have to raise $50 to be broke.
I don't care. I'm not waiting. Lucy is 4 already. I'm getting pregnant right now.
Well, you ain't getting pregnant without my sperm.
That is not your sperm. That is our sperm. That's my sperm. Give it back.
Please welcome the creator and star of Lucky Louie, Louis C.K. That was a funny thing. Hello. How are you doing?
Very smart. Very smart.
Your show is popular now. I have just made it so popular by telling everybody all these raunchy scenes, right?
Well,
you can thank her by having her as a guest on the upcoming episode, maybe.
No, listen, I'm really glad that you said this stuff because I think a lot of people, you know, are confused by the show and offended by it. So it's, you know, it's good to be able to. I'm a little nervous and scared, but I'm glad to be able to talk to you about it.
You've actually said it's like honeymooners, sort of, right?
Yeah, the show is not, I mean, I don't want people to think that we're trying to make fun of folks and we're being dirty just for the sake of it. We're just trying to be as honest as possible. And we picked HBO so that people would know when they go there that it's a place where, you know, but at the same time, I know that HBO, once you buy it, it's just part of the flipping. So, you know, but all we're trying to do is be funny and unique and relatable.
But let me ask you this, Lou.
It's very grown up.
It can get very raunchy. What about the 7-year-old girl?
Grown up doesn't bother me. It's, well, never mind. You and I, we'll have lunch.
No, and I think it's a good thing.
No, it really is.
Barbara, I felt the same way watching it, but my concern was that there's a 7-year-old girl who plays your daughter on the show. Does she hear all the stuff that goes on? Because I know she's not in a lot of the scenes where that talk goes on.
Well, no, we actually shoot carefully so that she's not on the set when that stuff gets said.
Put big earmuffs on her or something?
Yeah, and she's in the show with us, but we are grown-ups live in the same houses as children. So, and grown-ups curse and grown-ups get mad at each other.
Listen, I read Natalie Wood's biography, okay? They used to let that kid go in water. She was petrified of water. She used to do scenes in water. To me, that's much more dangerous for a child actor than hearing a few words, okay?
You know what?
I remember this one scene where it's your character, the daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And the African-American couple that's across the hall gives her a doll. Her other friends gave her a doll. And the African-American couple gives her black doll.
That's right.
And she has to do a scene, and she does it very effectively, where she cries and says, "I don't want the black Barbie."
Right.
Is there conversation with this young actress about what the ramifications of that are? Because I know that those are the things that moms, Elizabeth and I were just talking about.
Sure. Well, I think that, like, for that scene, first somebody gives her a white Barbie, and my wife is upset because she doesn't like Barbies because of what they represent for women.
They said a little mini stripper. I thought it was a great line.
It was. It was funny.
And then she gets a black Barbie, and some kids just say stuff that you don't know why they're going to like something.
Exactly, but it was real. It was a real reaction. It wasn't a bad reaction as a kid.
For the kid to say, "I don't like the black Barbie," and then we all feel horrible.
Because you're embarrassed because this couple is there.
Exactly. So I think we let the kid absorb that the way the kid would in the real story, which is you don't like this Barbie and you just, you know. But I don't think, I think at this age the kid's 6 years old and we don't need to, I don't want her to be race conscious or anything conscious. It's not up to me though, I think it's up to her parents.
Speaking of
I hope the 6-year-old doesn't see the red vibrating moving when she's on the set.
Yeah.
No,
just keep her locked up somewhere else.
I just thought I'd throw that in.
To the real world.
No, and as far as the race material on the show, the pilot sets up a situation which is real from my life, which is that we're raising my daughter in upstate New York. And there are zero anything but white people up there where we are. And so an African...
Welcome to my world.
And a guy came to fix the refrigerator, and he was African American, and and my daughter bonded with him. And he said...
This is in the show.
This is true, and it really happened.
True life.
And my daughter said refrigerator, because she had just learned the word, and he said, "Yes, refrigerator." And they said refrigerator to each other all day. And then I took her to New York City, and the first black guy that she saw, she said refrigerator.
I did
so right away I thought my daughter doesn't have enough varied experience.
That's cute.
Well, it was true, and so this is the thing. In order for our next generation to mix and not think of each other in terms of race, adults have to have these awkward, "Hi, please be my friend because you're black" things. It's just awkward, but it's... But it's
just tell her when she sees a chubby auntie star, don't say refrigerator. She
also likes to play.
You do say to the, you know, I have no black friends, so please be my friend just because you're black.
I do, and that's the way I guess. That's the way. I mean, that's not true in my life. You know, a friend of mine, Chris Rock, is a friend of mine, and he lives in a nice neighborhood, and he's got a daughter, and he has trouble finding black friends for her and for his black daughter because he's in an area that's so it's something that we're all dealing with.
We take care of that.
You do take those situations and make them real. Doesn't your daughter? You have your 4-year-old, and doesn't she like to play hide and seek, and you hate it?
Oh yeah, well, she loves playing hide and seek, and I guess I find it annoying because she's awful at it. Like, when we play hide and seek, she tells me where to hide. She picks my hiding place, which is patently unfair. She's like, hide in the closet. And I'm like, but then, you know, hide in the closet! You know, so I got to go
How
in
does
the
your family
closet.
feel about exposing them like this? I mean, we all
My
do it.
wife loves the show, and
Yeah.
my daughters don't watch the show.
Most of the show is based on your relationship with.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
the 4-year-old you love and found interesting. The 1-year-old you think is what, a lump?
Well, the 1-year-old, I don't know nothing about her because she hasn't said anything yet. So there's nothing to really say.
Are you
First
concerned
words.
with how
It's a
big
baby.
you are as a dad?
Oh,
Because
I'm
the
a
Father's Day we just finished with now.
Yes, well, I think I'm a pretty awful dad. And I think most fathers feel that way, that you're constantly... One time I was eating chocolates I wasn't supposed to be eating, and my daughter said, "What are those?" And I said, "They're black tomatoes." Because I didn't want her to think I was eating. So now she thinks there's something called black tomatoes. Isn't that awful?
So wrong of you.
It's awful.
I think that's great. And you know that 1-year-old, if she's anything like you, she's going to have a ton to say. Because you are
I
very
hope so.
funny. And
Well,
the
thank
show
you.
is very interesting. So you can watch it or not. It's up to you. Thanks to Louis C.K. Lucky Louie airs Sunday nights on HBO. Check your local listings. When we come back, Jagged Edge is performing their latest hit.